How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to the Mando Bros channel. It's your boy Big O Nuggets, and with me is my boy.
Yo, what's up? It's Eagle Heart. How's everyone?
And we are just fresh out of watching the finale of The Bad Batch, Camino Lost. And for those of you who don't remember the previous episode, pretty much uh, Crosshair pretty much kidnaps Hunter, or captures Hunter, takes him to Camino with Rampart. He's in there trying to convince Hunter to join the Empire, have the Bad Batch join the Empire, because he says that's what he truly believes is his purpose. After he said his brothers left them out, and so they're there. He's trying to convince them, but even Rampart knew that potentially Crosser was not going to kill his brothers, and so they had already have the order to destroy Camino. And so while the Bad Batch, Omega, and Crosser was still in Camino, they set fire to Camino, and as you see, they are stuck in there trying to escape as Camino just completely collapses in on them. And first off, first impressions for me personally, I love the episode. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed, that little second part of them escaping, because I think if they would have gave us something else, like, oh yeah, they just randomly escape from Camino, we would have been like, well, how? Like, they're literally, it's a city over an ocean. So I kind of like that they gave us that. But I do agree with most people online too. I kind of wish we could have gotten a little bit more from it. Because just a little bit more. It was beautiful, beautiful scenery. Some of the scenes in there were awesome. It was great. I just do wish we would have gotten maybe just a little bit more to this. Maybe I would have loved an hour long, season finale. Like, I mean, we
I was
technically did.
expecting I was expecting a longer
Fin-
season finale, like how the first episode was.
yeah, which they
I was
killed it in the
expecting
first
at
one.
least I was expecting at least 40 minutes.
Yeah, which I mean, we technically
Uh,
did though, because there's two-part episode in a sense.
yeah.
But I really wish the season finale would have been just a little bit extra. But overall, though, love the episode. Love kind of where they left it open to interpretation, especially with the ending and pretty much the post-credit scenes as well. Eagle Heart, what were your thoughts on the overall episode?
Overall, I thought it was good. I liked how there was more character development. We saw more of Crosshair and his, decision making a little bit. Like he didn't waver, even though you could tell he is fighting something in the background, So, but overall, I thought it was a um, great episode. Of course, I would liked a little more, but
Yes.
you know,
Overall, like in the beginning of the episode, it's just the Bad Batch trying to escape. They're stuck in the facility. They're just trying to run out, and we get to see some more great development on Omega. I gotta say, Omega's development from when we first saw her to the end of the season has been amazing. Like her character development has been great. She started off as a girl who pretty much didn't know too much, only grew up in Camino to, being a part of the team, and that's the big thing. And we see that controversy with Crosshair throughout this episode. They're like,
yeah,
oh, so now she's calling the shots. You're gonna risk your life, or you're gonna put your life by the decisions of this child. But we get to see, like, she is part of the crew now. She is helping with really big decisions and stuff, and she's not that gullible or liable little kid that they treated her in the very beginning. And I truly enjoyed Omega's character development up to now. Really grown up, really knows what's going on, and it was great. I totally loved Omega's character development throughout this entire season. And like
yeah.
and just like Eagle Heart said with Crosshair, we get to see just Crosshair really battle between that dilemma, his brothers or the Empire. He's still a little stuck between both of them. And we get to see how
Mhm.
he feels about Omega. Like, Omega literally just saves him from drowning, and he's just like, man, like, get your hand, like, he's like, I don't acknowledge you or nothing. But
Yeah,
it's like Omega has been actively saving all their lives, saved his life and everybody's life throughout this episode. It's just, and I like that
I
conflict. I like the conflict.
yeah, I do too, and I feel it's like because of Omega, she's like the emotional um character for him,
Yep.
because all these guys are, you know hard asses, you know,
Yeah, they're all for
Rambo status, you know.
the
But she
mission
brings
objectives.
back, yeah, it comes first. But she's that emotional tie that goes, but you know, he's your brother, or you know, we don't leave anyone behind. You know, helps bring them back to the, you know, to the world and be like, you know what, you're right, we should go and save them.
Exactly, and I love
Yeah,
that. Really love that about it. And then the awkwardness too that we see here between Crosshair and the Bad Batch. Like
yeah,
you know they're all in their feels. You know they
yeah,
went back to save their brother, but you know he's just like nah. Like I don't acknowledge you guys anymore. I don't want to be a part of you guys anymore. And it's crazy. And I love some of the scenes here as we get to see Omega look at the facility and everything as it's collapsing, and it's just like she's seeing her whole world, like her home being
yeah. Her
completely
home,
like
literally.
destroyed, you know. And it's just like damn, like it's crazy to see all these moments go down the way they do. And again, some of these scenes here were just beautiful, like the way they're just as the city collapses and they're just trying to make their way through, and the beautiful scenes of just the city collapsing into the water. That was
Yeah,
just it was all
it's like
beautiful.
they make it look so poetic as the city sinks slowly down to the ocean.
Yep, and then we
It's
see the
like, oh,
Empire just they. I mean, it's just like the Empire was there. They just blew it up. They're like, it's done. All right, and they just left. They're done. They're like, we destroyed the city. We did what we had to do and leave. And Eagle Heart says something really interesting too in the beginning. Where one of the clones pretty much came up and says, well, the city is destroyed. You know,
yeah.
and Eagle Heart mentioned that he kind of heard a little bit of remorse, you know, regret behind those words when he said that to Rampart. And I really like that. That was actually something really good, cool.
Because you know all the, you know, the clones, that's their home, and they're literally destroying what they called home
Yep,
after every mission they would come back to. You know,
exactly.
and so that now I believe these clones are realizing like this is real.
Yep. and it's great to see those little things in between the episode. It was awesome. And
Hmm.
here's something I mentioned in the previous episode is how I guess this finale has really come full circle. Is we get to see the Bad Batch also in their old quarters, their old room where they stayed, it was really ironic and funny that that was one of the only rooms that wasn't really destroyed while they were in like their old barracks, and it was like
I mean,
it was
even Tech said, ironically, our old barracks hasn't been touched.
So it's funny how they even mentioned it on there, and like again, it just came full circle. First season, we they're all in there, they're all together there, and we see it come full circle again. You know, maybe not everybody together, but they all are in their barracks again, which is crazy. Now we get to see kind of like a little bit more of history with the Kaminoans and their secret tunnels as they use one of the tunnels to try to get back to the ship, which they came into. And we see as we see through here, we see an elaborate, you know, different tubes flowing everywhere. So they had all these secret underground tunnels going everywhere, and it was interesting. Funny also, Eagle mentioned is like they're all having these conversations as all these cracks are happening around the tube, and it's like, bro, we just gotta get out of here. They just gotta go. and I like this scene here as well, where pretty much even Wrecker brought up like,
Yeah,
why
that's right.
didn't you come back with us? And even Crosshair is trying to roast him like, well, oh, what's on your little mind? You know, it's like, we would have taken you back, bro. Like we would have, you know, we wanted you back,
Yep.
man. And then we get to see one of the most beautiful scenes, and again more character development of Tech.
Yep.
Tech literally roasts Crosshair. He's saying, you know, that this is his decision, that's what he wants. And then Crosshair's
Yeah.
like, why are you defending me? He's like, I'm not defending you. Just because I understand you doesn't mean that I agree with you. And that was like a really big like mic drop, like bitch, like I get what you're saying, but not in like in the most like smart ass kind of response towards him, which was great. I really
Here again, he stopped, and I'm like, why are you stopping? Don't stop.
keep the whole glass is breaking. We gotta go. And then this
You're in
beautiful
a
scene.
little water coffin.
And then this beautiful scene where we see the creatures that lurk underneath the water. I've always wondered what was lurking underneath that ocean the whole time in Camino. And we get to see this giant, like, turtle serpent
New
thing.
creature.
Yeah, it just come out from the depths. And it's like, oh shit. I love
You know
it.
what? You know what scene that reminded me of?
Which
Have
scene?
you watched the movie Meg
Yes.
with
Oh
the
yeah.
Megalodon?
Yes.
And you know the underwater, and then the Meg shows just like that,
Just
with
like,
his mouth wide open.
yes,
I'm
exactly.
like, holy crap!
It was awesome because they said the only reason why that thing wouldn't attack was because of the defense systems when the lights are on. Well, the power's out now, so this creature is out here, sees some movement. He's ready for some dinner, I would assume. But that's a big ass like lizard or underwater lizard thing. That was beautiful. I love that little touches that they threw in here.
Yeah.
That was just
It's like a half turtle, half whale, half shark.
Yep.
And I don't even know what else. It's probably another genetically altered
Hey,
experiment.
from the Kaminoans, probably.
Yeah.
And then I like that we come here with Hunter and Crosshair back to what's her name again? I totally spaced out already. We were just talking about Nala Say's Nala Say's thing, and it's funny how they say, oh, this is where we were all born, and then even Tech was like, and honestly, Omega is older than us because she was born first, but she didn't have the rapid aging the way the clones do, the way the Bad Batch did. So technically speaking, Omega is older than the Bad Batch.
Big sister.
She's the big sister. That's why she's making all the big brain moves right now. The one telling everybody what to do and stuff. It was funny. And towards the end, we get to see how their only way out, because the tube that actually goes from Nala Say's private lab to where they literally came into in the beginning of the episode, that whole tube is broken. So now they got to go into these medical pods to try to escape with our little robot, Omega's robot friend, helping them go up through the water. But we get to see a lot of Omega and Crosshair moments here, you know. And I feel like, how you said, she's the emotional piece to the group. I really feel like Omega's going to be one of the few to kind of break through to Crosshair in some way.
I feel like she kind of already did, you know, in some ways, because this is just like what was it, the earlier episodes with her and Crosshair.
Yep.
You know, and it still seems like I don't know if the chip is really out or not. It shows like he's still fighting something.
Yep.
Because he keeps grabbing his head and shaking it.
Yep, I agree.
So so I don't know.
I'm still lost for words on that too. I'm not 100% sure whether or not he's fully if he's telling the truth or not. We just don't know. I honestly do not know. And that burn makes it hard to see if he has some kind of incision and where he took it out. So I mean,
because in the last episode, Hunter turned his head to check, but you know you couldn't tell because of the burn mark. You couldn't tell if there was a small scar or incision there.
Yep. And so that's still up to debate. I don't know. What do you guys think in chat? Let us know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think Crosshair is telling the truth about his chip being removed? He knew all along about it, or is he lying and his chip is still in there? And then one of the other scenes that again we get to see what you said with Crosshair. Pretty much Omega goes out and tries to save her little robot friend, but he's too heavy. She can't push him up. And she's about to drown, and then we see Crosshair literally pull out his rifle, and we think he's gonna shoot Hunter and say, okay, they're out. Like, he's really still with the Empire. I'm like, holy shit. And instead, he goes out with the grapple, and he pulls up Omega and EZ from the water. And the funny scene is once they pan to everybody else, we see Echo, Tech, and even Wrecker with their blasters out. They're like ready to shoot in case anything was about to happen. But this shows like, again, he still has a soft spot, and he gives his weapon to Wrecker. So it's like he still loves his brothers. There's no doubt about it. He still loves his brothers.
I feel like that scene though was Crosshair telling him, "Look, I could have taken you out, but I chose not to."
Yep.
So it shows like either there is something clicking inside him, or he knew that they all need to get to safety. And, the brothers are the only way he's going to make it. Yeah,
so I'm still confused a little bit. I'm still a little confused. And I like this ending towards the end where we get to see Omega, kind of see, it's sad, but I like this ending because you see everything burning, everything destroyed. and she gets to see, you know, her home is gone, but she has a new home with her brothers. You know, like I feel like she had to get past this in order for her to fully grow, you know, as a person. You know where she grew up and stayed all her life is now gone. Now it's time for her to move on, you know, and continue. And also the way the Bad Batch were trying to tell Crosshair is like, you gave us our chance. You said this is your chance, Crosshair. And Crosshair again reluctantly just denies going with them. He says that he wants to be a part of the Empire. He wants to be a part of the Empire. And he's just Hunter's just like, you know, they're just always look at you as a number, and you just gotta look out. You know, he's gotta look out for his family, and if Crosshair doesn't want to be a part of it, I mean, he's got to do what he's got to do. You know.
And I think this upcoming scene right here is what may have hit Crosshair a little bit.
Yep, with Omega going up to him and pretty much saying, you know, you're my brother, and you know they're still your brothers.
Yeah, saying I'm your brother too. And see, he kind of like, you could tell he kind of like was a little shocked when she said, and it really made him think while the ship was taking off.
Yep.
And I think right now he feels he made too many wrongs, and that
he doesn't feel worthy to go back with his brothers.
Exactly.
And this scene right here, they just leave him. They leave him for the Imperial scouts to come back, you know, for him to go back to the Empire. Which, this is a very powerful scene right here. Them just flying out, and we see just Crosshair just there. He's like, well, shit. He's alone. He's truly alone. Doesn't have the Empire. Doesn't have his brothers. He is truly alone right now. And maybe with what you said, with Omega saying that about, you know, we're still your brothers, and him being alone, maybe this could be a pinnacle moment for him, a really big change for him right here. Maybe in season 2, we might see Crosshair, you know, go solo, you know, do his own thing, you know, maybe escape the Empire, take a ship and escape and you know, and do his own thing, or maybe the Empire will continue to use him. It's still.
You know what would be cool? You know what would be cool too? Is him in the background without his brothers knowing he's around, and you know, doing little things to help him out. Like they're all of a sudden in a giant pickle. All of a sudden, this random shot comes out of nowhere,
saves them,
or some distraction happens, and you know he's in the background watching over him.
That would be awesome. Yeah. That would be a really cool thing to try to put in for Crosshair. But let us know your thoughts too here at the end, everybody. We want to know your theories. You know, what do you think is going to happen to Crosshair? You know, will he go back to the Empire? Will the Empire potentially kill him? Will we see Crosshair go solo and do his own thing, or will in season 2 will we potentially see him reunite with his brothers and then become a family again? Honestly, right now it's just up for debate, and it's just I genuinely hope that he goes back with them and sees what's going on, and or maybe what if we see him with Saul Guerrero or Rex or something later down the road. You know, he was hired to go hunt them, so he might know something and might join the rebellion. I don't know. It's up for debate now, and let us know in the comments your thoughts on Crosshair and what do you think he's gonna be doing until season 2, or if we're even gonna see him in season 2. Yeah. And now for the part that really got us hyped. I'm really excited to talk about this. Here we see Nala Se, right, with all the commandos. She's surrounded by commandos, which I'm surprised. And look, all right, we're gonna look at this person right here. Look at the outfit. Look at the hair. I'm joking. But look at the outfit. If you guys don't remember, the Mandalorian, pretty much the guy, the scientist behind the cloning with Grogu, had the same symbol and same outfit, you know, and now we know that the Empire pretty much took Nala Se to put into their own cloning projects, and I think this 100% solidifies the connection with the Mandalorian. This moment here with Nala Se, you know, she could be the one who was behind all the cloning from Palpatine to, you know, to Snoke and to, you know, Grogu, you know, and why they wanted Grogu so bad. and all that. Imagine too. What if she was behind Starkiller as well, the cloning of Starkiller? Because Darth Vader was very upset. Well, I mean, Starkiller wasn't canon. He's not. I don't think he's canon, is he?
Not yet.
Not yet, but we'll see.
Who knows?
But I mean, I'm just throwing shit out there right now. But either way, though, like we do get to see the official connection. I want to say this is 100% an official connection from the Mandalorian, we're in the Bad Batch with Nala Se, being a part of their cloning, projects now for the future. So that's crazy. That is really, really crazy.
Yeah. So now I'm wondering, now season 3 comes, if we may see or hear anything about Nala Se.
Maybe
if
even
she's still alive or not.
Or maybe just hear about her like she was the one who founded everything. I mean, if they look at Grogu's roots, or if the Empire goes back to get him or something, maybe we can see some connections.
Because because she is a clone, she may change her appearance now because she is no longer on Kamino.
Yep.
So we may see a whole new
Nala Se. Yes.
If they allow her to clone herself.
True. Because we already know the Kaminoans have all cloned themselves to, adapt. And survive pretty much. They're survivors. And because we see that when Fennec, when the abandoned Kaminoan facility, we saw those other Kaminoans that were in those pods that were, either failed projects or projects that never came to life. So that's crazy. This is absolutely crazy. The Mandalorian connection and everything is just is crazy, and to see this is how their cloning process began. That is just insane. Again, such a great episode in of its own, with lots of really great connections, especially this ending, and leaving us a little bit, to think about what's to come for season 2. Season 2 is being officially confirmed on Disney's, Twitter. Everything is confirmed. We're getting season 2, and so I'm just wondering, what route are they gonna take now? Like, what are we gonna see?
Right.
Are we gonna see the Bad Batch with Rex join the rebellion? Are they gonna continue to be mercenaries with Sid, or what's gonna happen? What's gonna be their lives from here on out is what I want to know. Let us know your comments. I still think it was a great ending, a good ending, with everything. I wish we would have gotten just a tad bit more stuff for the Bad Batch. I would have wanted just a little bit more craziness, a little bit more action. Would have been awesome. But
one last thing, I think there is a big possibility we may see the Bad Batch trying to rescue Nala Se now when they find out she's alive.
That would be a cool thing too to see.
Because Omega is gonna want to try and rescue her.
Yeah, once she finds out, because I'm assuming she thinks she's dead, and if they ever find out that she is alive, I would assume that she would want to save her.
Yeah, so maybe we may see the part of season 2 is the rescue of Nala Se, and maybe the destruction of this cloning facility.
Or what if we actually get to see Nala Se bring the Phase 3 that they were talking so much about to life now with the Empire?
Mm-hmm.
What about those? Even if they're the type of droid that we saw in the Mandalorian too,
Yeah.
So she could be a part of not just cloning, but droids like that as well. I mean, maybe that was some of the projects that she worked in as well, besides just cloning. So
you saw those practice droids on Kamino. They looked almost like
identical. From the Mandalorian. You're right. You're 100% right. So that could be a thing that she could. They are just using her for everything, droids, all this stuff, and we could potentially see Phase 3, her bringing that to life for the Empire. But
very true.
Either way, awesome. Let us know your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more Mando Bros content, guys. We got a lot more stuff coming your way. Like I said, we're gonna be covering a lot more things when it comes to Disney Plus series and everything for Star Wars. So keep an eye out for what's to come, guys. I'm very excited for all the upcoming series. and I just this is great for the Bad Batch, and I cannot wait for season 2. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for checking this out. Like and subscribe, and Eagle Heart, let's send everybody out.
May the force be with you, for this is the way.
Thank you,
Mahalo,
everybody.
guys.